The world woke up to pure royal joy today. Cameras flashed, bells rang across Copenhagen, and millions held their breath as Princess Leonor de Borbon Ortiz, Spain's future queen, walked down the aisle to marry His Royal Highness Prince Christian of Denmark. But what no one expected was the sheer emotion that unfolded live before our eyes. At first, it seemed like just another royal ceremony, formal, flawless, beautifully staged. But then something unexpected happened. The crowd went silent, and the princess herself, known for her composure and regal grace, broke down in tears. And in that single moment, centuries of royal restraint dissolved into something raw and deeply human. This wasn't just a royal wedding. It was a moment that reminded the world that even behind crowns and protocol, there beats a real heart, a heart that loves, fears, and hopes just like ours. As Spain and Denmark celebrated side by side, what unfolded wasn't just a diplomatic union, it was a love story that rewrote royal history in real time. Now let's take you inside the royal chapel, where history was being made. The morning began under a soft Danish sky, as royal carriages glided through the streets of Copenhagen. Locals lined the cobblestones waving Spanish and Danish flags together, a sight never before seen in modern royal history. The air carried the scent of flowers from the palace gardens, and for a moment, time seemed to pause. When the royal family of Spain arrived, King Felipe, Queen Letizia, and Infanta Sofia, the crowd erupted. Spain's first family stepped out with pride, emotion etched on their faces. Queen Letizia's eyes glistened as she looked toward the cathedral doors, knowing that her little girl, the same one who once stood shyly at her side during royal events, was now moments away from becoming a queen in her own right. Inside the grand chapel, golden chandeliers shimmered as the royal guests took their seats. Members of the British, Dutch, Norwegian, and Swedish royal families watched in quiet admiration. But as the music swelled and the doors opened, all eyes turned. There she was, Princess Leonor. Dressed in an ivory silk gown designed by Spain's top couturier, she moved slowly down the aisle, every step echoing with history. Her veil, embroidered with delicate Spanish lace, shimmered under the cathedral lights. And beside her, King Felipe gently whispered something only a father could say at such a moment. Then came Prince Christian. Tall, confident, yet visibly emotional. He took one deep breath as he saw Leonor approaching, and for the briefest second, the world saw something profoundly real, two young royals who grew up in the spotlight, now uniting for love, not duty. When Leonor reached the altar, their hands touched. And the cameras caught it, that quiet tremor of emotion. Christian smiled, a little nervously, and whispered something that made her laugh softly through her tears. It was genuine. It was beautiful. It was human. As the vows began, the Spanish and Danish choirs merged their voices in a hauntingly beautiful rendition of Ave Maria. Even the royal guests appeared moved. The King of Spain bowed his head, Queen Margrethe smiled with pride, and across the internet, millions watched live, commenting, crying, celebrating. But what truly broke Spain's heart came next, Leonor's vow. In perfect Danish, she began, her voice trembling. She spoke not as a princess, not as a symbol of power, but as a woman in love. She said, "Christian, from the moment I met you, I knew that home wasn't a place, it was a feeling." The chapel fell silent. Cameras captured her tears as Christian reached out and held her hand mid-sentence. At that moment, Spain, a nation that has watched her grow from a young heir into a leader, wept with her. For years, she had been the face of duty, the symbol of the future. But here, she was something more, a person choosing love in front of the world. The applause that followed was thunderous, echoing through the cathedral walls and into the streets. Outside, crowds cheered as church bells rang across Denmark. It wasn't just a royal wedding, it was a global celebration of unity, love, and the changing face of modern monarchy. But the day wasn't without whispers. Behind the perfection, royal insiders spoke of the deep emotional weight Leonor carried. The Spanish press reported that Queen Letizia had privately told her daughter the night before, "Remember, you are both a queen and a woman. Never forget which one the world needs more today." And that's what made this ceremony different. This wasn't about titles. It was about transformation. As the newlyweds exited the cathedral, confetti rained down, red and white petals symbolizing both nations. Christian leaned in and kissed Leonor gently on the forehead, a gesture that instantly went viral. Across Spain, television anchors struggled to hold back tears. This was the moment millions had waited for, a symbol of hope, stability, and modern love. The reception at Amalienburg Palace was equally breathtaking. Inside the glittering ballroom, the Spanish royal family toasted the Danish crown. King Philippe's speech moved even the most stoic royals, as he said, "Today, I do not lose a daughter, I gain a son, and Spain gains a family." Guests described the atmosphere as electric, filled with laughter and music. Queen Letizia danced with her daughter for the first time as a bride, her face glowing with pride. Prince Christian and Leonor shared their first dance under a canopy of lights, and as the cameras panned out, viewers saw a young couple smiling at each other, unaware that the world was watching. What began as a ceremony has become a story, one that will be replayed for generations. Royal analysts say this wedding marks a turning point for both monarchies. The union between Spain and Denmark represents a bridge between tradition and modernity, a symbol of what the new generation of royals stands for: authenticity, empathy, and love. But even as the night faded, one lingering question remained: how will Princess Leonor balance her royal destiny with her personal life? As the future Queen of Spain, she carries immense responsibility. Yet, watching her tonight, it's clear, she is ready. Her composure, her grace, her humanity, all shone through every moment of this royal day. And as the newlyweds waved from the palace balcony, fireworks lit up the sky. In Spain, millions gathered in plazas, clapping, singing, and crying together. Across the world, screens glowed with the image of two young royals who turned a ceremony into a symbol of unity. Princess Leonor de Borbon Ortiz, now Her Royal Highness Princess Christian of Denmark, has not only made history but touched hearts far beyond royal borders. Tonight, Spain celebrates not just a wedding, but the dawn of a new royal era, one built on love, courage, and authenticity. And as the world replays every second of this unforgettable event, one thing is certain: the crown may belong to tradition, but the heart belongs to Leonor.